Hi everyone, this is Britt of Brit in Toyland coming to you with a wishlist review for the Star Wars The Black Series line. This is going to be my 2022 wishlist. Doing it a bit differently, not doing like a top 10 or anything. I decided to just go for looking at each piece of media I'm familiar with and listing off a few characters that I'd like to see come into the Black Series line this year or in the future. I know there's obviously some rumors already on figures that are coming out in 2022. I didn't really take those into account for this, so if they show up here, they show up here. That's all there is to it. So we will get started. So of course, we got to start with the first film that came out, Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. And for this one, I went with the Tonica sisters. Now, these figures are probably better suited to the vintage collection, especially considering they have more of the Cantina aliens. I'm not opposed to Black Series getting them as well, but this is obviously just getting my need for time for Tonica out into the world in any way possible. So I think ideally vintage collection is where these should show up, but hey, I'll put my love for them into the Black Series too. Just get the word out. Hashtag time for Tonica. Moving on to Empire Strikes Back. So the only character I really want from this film who hasn't made it into the Black Series yet is Lobot. From the film himself, he's not like my favorite character or the most interesting character. To be honest, I really fell in love with him through some of the Charles Soule comics that have been coming out recently, and it's interesting to explore like his relationship with Lando. So for that reason, I just love to have a figure of him. Moving on to Return of the Jedi. The Ewok we're all missing, Wicket. We've had our Teebo, interestingly enough, but we haven't had the star of the Ewoks, the star of the show, Wicket. Let's get him into the line. Now we move on to the prequels, and I am a big prequel lover, so we're going to see a lot more characters per film and per TV show moving forward. It's also because Black Series hasn't done a lot of prequel figures overall, so it'd be good to get some more in the line. So starting with the Phantom Menace, we have Queen Amidala in her iconic outfit. I know sometimes it's Sabe who's in that outfit, but still. And then we have young Anakin. I went for the version where he's not yet a Padawan, but that one is welcome as well. I just decided to go with the two sort of most iconic looks that they had in the film. Staying with Phantom Menace, we move on to Shmi Skywalker and Captain Quarsh Panaka. I'm a big fan of E.K. Johnston's Queen's Shadow and Queen's Peril books. I know Queen's Hope is coming out later this year, and Quarsh Panaka was really explored in those, so I'd love to get a figure of him in the line. And of course, Shmi Skywalker, the mother of all Skywalkers. Well, just the one, Anakin, but you know, the grand matriarch, as it were. Love to get her in the line as well. Great character, and I think she'd make a great figure. Keeping with the Phantom Menace still, I have the Handmaidens. You know, I just said I love E.K. Johnston's books on Padme and her Handmaidens, so I'd love to get them all in the line. So we of course have Sabe, the most well-known. I chose the royal outfit she's wearing when she goes to parley with the Gungans. Then we have Rabe. I also chose the sort of handmaiden outfit she wore during that meeting. Same for Ertier. Then Yana and Sasha were left behind when the palace was taken over. So I have them in the orange style handmaiden outfits. These are all really awesome characters, really well fleshed out in the novels, as well as the 2020 Darth Vader Star Wars comics that Greg Pak has been writing. And I just fell in love with all of them and would love to have them in a set. On to Attack of the Clones, my favorite prequel. So, you're probably going to realize now that I'm a big Anakin and Padme fan. I'm a shipper. I enjoy it. So I'd love to get as many variants of them as possible in the Black Series line. So I start off with Anakin and Padme in their wedding clothes. Now, in terms of Anakin, it's kind of the outfit he wears for most of the movie, except his cloak is on. And we technically have that figure in Black Series, but we don't have the cloak. Give us the cloak, Hasbro. I'll buy another Anakin. And if his face sculpt is better, all the better. Then I also went for Anakin and Padme in their peasant clothes. I know, vintage collectors are cringing right now. I know, that was rough. Peasant Anakin was rough. But we don't have them in Black Series, and I'd like to have them both. So, give it to us, Hasbro. Keeping with Attack of the Clones, we move on to Zam, Wessel, and young Boba Fett, the strange little Fett family who we saw come to tragic ends in Attack of the Clones. With Zam Wessel, I would love to have sort of her disguise face, as well as the original Claudite face she has. That'd be a cool head swap for the figure. And of course, young Boba Fett, who we've been seeing a lot in Book of Boba Fett through flashbacks, so it'd be a timely one. Keeping with Attack of the Clones, I of course couldn't leave out our other Handmaidens, though I left out some others that show up in like comics and EU stuff, but anyway. So we start with Cordy. This is the best picture I could find of her, where she's not, dying / dead. Sorry, Cordy. And Dormy, played by Rose Byrne of all people. And Keira Knightley played Sabe. So many celebrities playing Handmaidens back in the day. And then we went with Gregor Typho, who was also a prominent character in E.K. Johnston's Padme books. And he kind of starts hooking up with Sabe, so that's neat. You need both characters. You need both figures. Now we go on to Revenge of the Sith. Once again, I just want all the Anakin and Padme variants. Give me all of them. I know, Anakin, he's basically wearing the same outfit. I don't care. Give me all of them. Oh, but also, give me the one where he's kind of in like a night robe, where his chest is showing. I'd be very, very much for that. And Bail Organa, adoptive father to Princess Leia. No better character to put in the line. Now we move on to the sequel trilogy. For The Force Awakens, I decided to go for photoreal Leia and photoreal Han. So we have these figures. They didn't come out at the best time. The photoreal wasn't really a thing yet, at least for Hasbro. And it'd be great to have those two characters fully realized, fully accurate, and fully articulated, looking great. So let's bring this power couple back to the Black Series better than ever. I, down the same line, would like a photoreal Finn. He doesn't look that bad for what he is for his Force Awakens figure, but he could really use a new one. He could use a lot of new figures, which we'll get to shortly. On to The Last Jedi. Now, Hasbro, for Black Series, really filled out the line with Last Jedi figures. I love The Last Jedi, so I'm not complaining about it. I'm happy for it. But we're missing Rose's beloved, dearly lost sister, Paige Tico. Let's bring her into the line too. On to The Rise of Skywalker, where things really took a dip. Not just with the films, but with the toys. We have had very few Rise of Skywalker figures, and we're missing 3 of the most prominent, or should be prominent characters, still mad about Rose Tico and Rose Skywalker, from the line. And they have amazing new outfits. So I would very much like Finn, Poe, and Rose complete that quartet of hero characters for Rise of Skywalker and for the sequel trilogy. Next, Rise of Skywalker, Jedi Leia and Jedi Luke. Now, Jedi Leia is the main one here. We've obviously had a million Lukes, but sure, give me this one, give me the helmet, I want that Jedi Leia. I'm still so sad it took this long to finally get our princess, our general, with a lightsaber training. Not a huge fan of how that whole prophecy worked out, where she stopped being a Jedi because her baby would be evil, but then her baby was evil anyway, and still lost him, so, Anyway, enough about that. Jedi Leia figure, Black Series. Let's do it. Rogue One! I got nothing. You did it, Hasbro. You accomplished the goals. You gave us the whole crew, Bodhi Rook included, all with photoreal faces. You have earned your rest for Rogue One, but not the other stuff. Now we're on to Solo. This obviously is a vastly popular one. Kira in her Kessel outfit. We of course have Kira in that, cute little outfit she had on Corellia in like the first 3-5 minutes of the film. But we want the iconic one, the one that's so badass, the one that's so good. Give us the Kira outfit, Hasbro. I'd also love an Enfys Nest where she doesn't have the helmet. I get at the time it probably would have been spoilery to release a figure like that, but it's been long enough. Let's have Enfys Nest without her helmet. On to the Clone Wars. There's so many figures to mine from this show, so it was hard keeping my list limited. But I chose the ones I wanted the most, starting with Clone Trooper ARC Trooper 5s. 5s is my favorite clone of the clones we were introduced to throughout this series. He had a great arc, and I'd love to see him in the Black Series. Quinlan Vos obviously didn't get the amount of screen time that they were planning to give him, but he had a great arc in Dark Disciple, an amazing book, and now that we have our Asajj Ventress in the Black Series, he'd fit great right alongside her. Keeping up with the Night Sisters and Dathomir vibe, Mother Talzin is a great-looking character, a very interesting character, and would make an awesome-looking figure. Similarly with Savage Opress, and with that Night Brother that they released for Gaming Grace, we're so close. We got the yellow paint. Just give us Savage Opress. Moving on to Rebels. Similarly to Rogue One, we've got our Ghost Crew, all looking amazing. Hasbro's done a good job, but let's get a couple more villains into the line from Rebels. So I chose Agent Kallus and Arinda Pryce. I did choose to go with Kallus after he sort of joined the Resistance, joined the Rebels with his beard. It's just a nice look, but I'll take him in any variant form you want. And then Arinda Pryce. Didn't have as much time on screen as she did in the Thrawn novels, but she was really cool in the book, so I'd love to get a figure of her in the Black Series. On to the Bad Batch. As Black Series collectors, we've been really blessed getting the majority of the Bad Batch characters. Omega and Echo are on the way. The only other character I really would love to see is Sid. That voice is awesome, great character, great looking Trandoshan figure. Let's get her in the line. Moving on to the Mandalorian, I have the power couple of all power couples, Frog Lady and Frog Daddy. I don't really know what we call him, so that's what I came up with. Let's get this amphibious couple in the Black Series, looking so cute. Add some accessories so we can see their little egg babies, their little tadpoles. Don't let Grogu go near them though. Continuing with the Mandalorian, Peli Motto. Amy Sedaris just kills it in this role, cracks me up every time. She'd make an awesome figure, and maybe include a little pit droid with her. On to the book of Boba Fett. Each week, I have to keep myself from adding more characters onto this list. We've had so many amazing ones, so here's what I've come up with as I restrain myself from putting every character in that show into this video. First up, Black Chrysanthemum. He is fantastic in the Dr. Aphra comics. Looks so cool, so terrifying. Let's get him in the Black Series line. Don't use the Boba Fett mold though, Hasbro. New one. Different body type, different coloring. New mold for Black Chrysanthemum, please. And the new Rancor Keeper, the Danny Trejo character. We don't have a name for this guy yet, but he's super cool. And he has some great wisdom on Rancors. Next up, we have the Tuscan Warrior Woman, the Tuscan Child, and a Massif. Obviously, the Tuscans, we've seen a whole new side of them, and it has been fantastic. These three are the characters who have spoke to me the most. Tuscan Warrior has been super cool in her different outfit than what we've seen for any other Tuscan. The Child has managed to be pretty cute. And Massifs, they just do my heart good. I love them. They're so cute. Give us one in Black Series, Hasbro. The Rainbow Biker Gang, or I think as we're calling them now, the Mod Squad. Obviously, these guys have been pretty controversial in the Star Wars community, but I loved them. I love the different colored bikes. I love the flashiness. I love the mods to their different limbs and eyes and organs and whatnot. I just think they look super cool. I'm not usually one to collect vehicles for Black Series, but if you give me each of these bikes in their different colors, I will buy them all up, Hasbro. On to gaming. So I'm only including games that I have played so far. So we're going to be missing quite a few, as I've only played all the way through Jedi Fallen Order and Squadrons. But that'll change. I'm making my way through them. So for Jedi Fallen Order, I would like the rest of our hero crew. Seer, Grease, and Marin. All awesome characters in their own right with great designs. And Cal Kestis is getting lonely, and so does BD1. So on to Star Wars Squadrons, I want the hero crew. That is Gunny, Frisk, Grace, and Keo. Once again, amazing designs like a pale-colored Trandoshan character. Grace is just beautiful, and Keo is one of the first non-binary characters in Star Wars, played by the awesome Bex Taylor Klaus. So let's get those in the line, Hasbro. On to the comics. Obviously, there's so many characters in the comics, but the ones I want the most are from the Dr. Aphra comics, Sana Staros and Magna Tolvan. The love triangle of all love triangles. Who's Aphra gonna end up with? Any of them? Can she commit that long without being a scoundrel? Let's figure that out in action figure form. Lastly, we have the High Republic. This series of books has been absolutely phenomenal. This entire era of amazing Jedi, crazy villains has just been amazing to read. So of course, I'd love to get some of these characters into the Black Series, unlikely as that may be. First up, Avar Kriss. She's the Marshal of Starlight Beacon and considered one of the best Jedi Masters of the era. Elzar Mann. He is my personal favorite character in the High Republic. His struggles with the dark side are super intriguing to read, and he's not bad on the eyes either. And then Stellan Gios. He rounds off this trio of characters who came up together as Padawans, and he is like the face of the Jedi. He is the model Jedi, and sometimes that can weigh heavily on his shoulders. There are so many amazing characters, but these are the three heroes I would love to see come out in the line first. And we'll finish things off with the villains of the High Republic, the Nihil. So of course we need our Nihil leader, Marky and Ro. They have amazing steampunk looks to them with crazy helmets that obscure their faces and keep their identities secret. Marky and Ro has a very cool look and would make an amazing figure. And Lorna D, one of the Tempest Runners. She is a wicked character, and her design is super cool, both with and without the helmet on. Let's get those guys into the Black Series line. So that is my list. I hope you all enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments if any of these characters match up on your list for 2022 for the Black Series. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.